Today I'm gonna show you one of my other setups. I showed you my fence squirrel setup for trapping squirrels, and now I'm gonna show you one of my other setups that I really enjoy. But there are tools that I always take with me when I go on the trap line for squirrels or whatever. I always have a drill. I always have a cordless drill with me. I make sure I always make sure that it's charged before I go out, and because you never know when you need it, and I really use this a lot when I'm squirrel hunting. I also make sure I take my screws that I use with washers on them that have rubber on the inside of them that helps grip my traps, and I'll show you why I have them like that. Of course, I always have a good roll of tie wire, which, if you don't know what tie wire is, some people call it trapping wire, but I work in construction and it's damn tie wire. So tie wire, regular old tie wire. Then I always got me a pair of, some people call them nines or bolt cutters or whatever the crap you want to call them, wire cutters. That's what I, take those things. But let me show you my first one. It takes a little prep, takes a little time to set them up. And you're off time, you're off season, or like today in Georgia, it's raining, it's cold, can't do much, so you just start, setting your stuff up. But let me show you the first one. First one is, it's about a 4'8" stick, not stick. I pretty much call this trap a squirrel stick trap. That's pretty much what it's just a trap on a pole or a stick or whatever, and it's like this. You see this? It's sitting on there. And if you look, I'm gonna bring it in close. I flatten out. I take my knife and I make a flat spot, and then here's where my screws come into effect with the washers. You see that? I'm moving this thing around. Now, when this thing goes off, it will come out of there. It'll push out. That's why I don't put a screw on each side of the trap. So this is the trap here. This is a Duke #1 for squirrel. And let me show you. Tie it off right here. It's like this flat. Now this end right here, this is where I put some bait, some peanut butter, or I put some kind of oil, some kind of nut oil up here, and or a couple pieces of, put the peanut butter, put some peanuts, corn, pretty much anything you want to put up there, like that type of stuff, nut type stuff, or corn, they'll eat it up. So I put that on the end, okay? And on this end, you see, I flatten out two sides like this, because you never know what side I want to put it on. One side of the tree or the other side of the tree. But I have two screws. And what I do is I mount this to the tree at an angle like this. All right. About 5 feet or so up in the air, because I don't want to be reaching everywhere. Because once that thing, it drops, it dangles. You just want to make it high enough to where other animals won't get them. But I mount this to one side. You can see how it goes. It goes down like this. And then I have the trap here. And then I have the peanut butter here. Now, some people would say, well, why don't you use a 2x4 or something like that? And there's a reason. Because I have used 2x4s. And what I've noticed by watching them is they'll figure out that they can go, and they're able to grab under the 2x4 and literally climb upside down to get past the trap. With this though, it's too small. It's too small and slippery, and they have to literally go through there. Now you're gonna have an occasional ass clown jump over your trap, but the majority of the time they're gonna walk straight through to your food. This is how I set it up with a spring trap, with a single spring Duke, flat. If you see, it's flat on the surface. And here's the thing too about these screws, and the reason I like to take it, you let this up right here like this. You see, I got access to the screws, so I can tighten the screws down or loosen them up however I need to make this trap stay tight on here, but not so tight that it won't fall. So that's my first setup. Okay. The second way I use this same setup, same stick, not same stick, but same type of setup. The stick, I call it a squirrel on a stick. It's pretty redneckish, but whatever. Is I use this 110 Conibear Dukes. Same thing. Look, the bait goes here. All right. The squirrel comes through here. See how I have it? And then I have it flat like that and like that. So the squirrel goes through there to get the bait that I put on the end. Now, I'll tell you where to put these things. When you're walking, I usually have a bunch of these in my truck or not on the back of my truck, and I mount them up as I'm setting coyote traps and stuff like that, because I use a lot of squirrel guts and stuff. I'll show you a set that I use for coyotes. I call it a squirrel on a stick. Well, this is what I call this, but I guess it's like a squirrel head trap or whatever. You'll see. I'll show you how I do the coyote one. But I use the guts and the head and the skin and the fur to trap coyotes and different animals. So I take the meat and I put it in the freezer, legs and shoulders and stuff. But the rest of it goes in a baggie, and I put it in my freezer and save it for when I'm trapping coyotes and let it stink a little bit before I put it in there. But this right here, this is so when I'm out there trapping coyotes and stuff, I have these ready to go. I get them out, bam, go mount one to a tree. And what I'm looking for when I go to a tree is I'm looking for those little nests. You'll see trees that have leaves, little nests up there, and that's squirrel nest. And they come down every day to go look for food. Well, what I have setting for them is some food on the end of a stick as they come out of a long night's sleep, or in the afternoon when they go back and get in their beds. There's a little snack on the end of this stick. So when they go down, they smell it, they see it, they climb right over, go through the trap, and they're caught. So this is the squirrel on a stick is how I do this one. Those two traps right there, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I will do a video. It's been a terrible, terrible trapping season so far here in Georgia because I'm working a good ways out of town, so I only get a trap on like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so far, the first 2 weekends here in Georgia, it has rained like hell. And it's raining right now. And it's supposed to rain all the way to Monday. And then I look at the forecast, and it looks like it's raining next weekend. So I'm having a hard time trapping this year. I've got a few. I'm fixing to have to just start coming up with stuff so I can trap in water. I may have to start using bucket sets and stuff like that. And the bad thing is, a lot of people don't realize in Georgia is, it's trapping season. But I don't like to use a lot of conibears right now. And that's what I use in my bucket sets. And the reason I don't like to use conibears is because in Georgia, you never know. You get up in the morning, it's 25 damn degrees, and in the afternoon, it's 78, not 80. And by the time you get home, your meat's terrible. So I like to use conibears when it gets really cold and cold enough where it doesn't ruin my meat. But I got to do what I got to do at some point. So I appreciate you watching. And I'll do a video on me trapping a squirrel with this trap so you didn't think I'm an idiot. So I appreciate you watching my videos, and check me out on Facebook and Twitter, on Instagram. You can look me up at Milner Trapper, and hit like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you want to leave me a negative comment and act like I'm crazy as hell, that's fine. I'll respond and we can have a good time conversating about how crazy I am. So, appreciate you watching the video. I hope to do more videos, and I'll start doing some videos on the trap line at some point when it quits raining. Thank you for watching.